Okay, so I got this off of Amazon. I got this guy off of eBay, just a simple 128 gig 2230 NVMe drive. So this from Amazon, you get your little screwdriver. I guess that's kind of nice. But the way this works, this guy goes in here. Well, actually, rewind a little bit. We're going to take the screw that's already in the Wi-Fi slot, and we're going to screw this down into this hole here. But in this hole, we're going to put in the screw and the bolt, and then the black screw is going to screw into it. So it's going to kind of look like this. So this goes in here. This is going to be secured here. And then this is going to secure and be connected to the motherboard. They've got little notches here, and what we can do is just basically break this. It's scored so that you can, break it. And then, of course, this end just goes into the normal Wi-Fi slot. Now, what kind of throws you off is you go, oh, well, this is 2242, this is, 2260, etc. This is a 2230. Well, this whole thing is not going to fit in the space of a 2230, which is the more traditional sizing for the Wi-Fi, because it needs, this connector here. So really, this is going to end up being one size larger, which means this whole apparatus is going to fit in the space of a 2242. If you happen to have a 2242, it's going to fit in the space of a 2260, et cetera, et cetera. 2260 goes to 2280. So you have to kind of keep that in mind, because if you have a side-facing Wi-Fi, so you've got the side of the case here, and then the Wi-Fi is facing this way, you're going to be limited, in the good chance you're not going to be able to fit. We're going to look at the G4 later, because that's how it has configured. The G1 and the G3 appear to have enough space, because theirs are perpendicular to the side of the case. We'll have to see. G2 might be a little tricky, because it's got a pretty good sized capacitor that's sitting right at the edge of the Wi-Fi card. So we'll see what we can do with that.
So before we started using this drive for testing with that Wi-Fi interface, I wanted to see what kinds of benchmarks we would get on it, just using it, directly connected to the NVMe slot. This is definitely a slow, older, probably generation NVMe drive, but just sacrificial anyway, and it's only 128 gig. But this, at least we have kind of a way to start with, so that we can see. It is faster than SATA, but I'll be curious to see when we actually get it running on the Wi-Fi interface, what kind of speeds we get.
I'm going to start with the G3, because that seems to have the most space. So you'll see here, of course, we've got installed a 2230, but I'm going to leave this guy in here. the whole reason I got that other one was just kind of more of maybe, I don't know, sacrificial, just this very simple NVMe drive. So let's take out the existing Wi-Fi card. I really don't want to take out the antennas, but maybe to have some space, we'll go for it. These are always so fun to try to get back on later. Okay, so let's remember the one marked as white is, oh, well, it's got a 1 and a 2, so maybe we can remember because it goes there to there. Okay, kind of blocking the view here. Let me try it with my nail. Okay, I got 1. 2. Okay. So we're going to put this to the side. So here, move these guys as far as you'll notice. This is where it's going to go in. Okay. So it's going to go in here. This hole is going to be for there. That's going to connect to there. And then the other is going to connect there. Now, this has a good amount of space, although we do, I can't just let it sit there because we do have this capacitor there. So I'm going, hopefully not break this too bad, but I'm going to go ahead and score it because let's make sure. So if I look at this again, all right, so I need to score it at that point, okay. All right, well, not so bad. Okay, so let's do this. Let's attach the little screw and bolt on the bottom first. Okay, so I'm taking this here. Kind of hand tightening it. All right. There. I'm going to stick this into the slot. Come on, guys, get out of the way there. So make sure it's in there. All right, put you guys on the side. All right, let's use our original screw here. I'm going to tap down. Take my NVMe. And again, this should screw right into there. All right. It does start to kind of turn. There's probably a little better way to hold it, but it's enough so that it's not it's not going to, you know, pop out of there. Okay, we've got this attached. Now I'm going to hook up power and let's see what it shows up. So what I have, this has actually been formatted to have the Win 10 XPE. So technically it is bootable. But I'm also over here, I've got my bootable Windows to go. So I want to have that so I can even see if it comes up. Well, I figured I'd just give it a whirl and see if I could boot from it. And lo and behold, we have booted. I'm going to try a speed test to see what it's like with that Wi-Fi drive. Oh, I guess some passable numbers. I mean, it's probably still better than a SATA drive or obviously a mechanical drive, but I'm just pleased that it actually worked. So, and the fact that I didn't have to do anything special on the BIOS to get it to boot. So I'm going to put the G3 back in working order and we'll try this with the G1. Okay, we got our G1. We're going to take out the hard drive because that's underneath it is where we've got the our Wi-Fi connection. So I'm going to usual take out these two guys as for the SATA connector, and then there's a couple screws underneath here so we can take the whole unit out. All right, disconnected here. I'm going to kind of lift this guy up. That allows me to then disconnect there. Got the memory, we don't have to worry about it. We can leave that in. Gonna take out these couple screws. Torque. And our last one. Okay, this one you got to be a little careful because the wire that's running here feeds the fan underneath. So we'll kind of move that to the side. All right, here's our drive. All right, not drive, our future drive, I guess. But this is what we're going to connect our guy in. Do the same. We're going to remove this. I think this screw, I may have, maybe from an older video, used it. Okay, but it actually is a flat blade to get that guy out of there. Okay, debating. These are always so fun putting back in, so I'm debating whether to leave them on and just see if we can move this guy, pull him out without having to disconnect. But let's see. All right, we can kind of put him to the side, I guess. Okay, that's fine. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna put this in. We've got a screw down to here. We'll find that our same funky one. Hopefully this head isn't so big. Let me get a different screw head here. All right, maybe this guy will work a little better. I'm a little concerned that the head might be a little too big and might present an issue when we're trying to screw in the that doesn't, let's look. Might have to go see if I can find, yep, no, that's not gonna work. So let me briefly go and look through my collection of screws and see if I can find something better than this one. I found one that worked much better. Okay, now we can stick this guy in. Okay. Where's our, oh, here he is. Okay. Screw him in. Okay. So, I'm going to just roll the dice and try seeing if we can boot from this guy. Well, was that 2 for 2? This also booted. Didn't have to do anything special. I'll try running those same benchmarks and see what we get here. Okay, well, a G1 speed on the for the M.2 NVMe aren't speed demons anyway, so it's definitely slower here, but it's also slower if you just have it in the normal slot. But hey, this will allow your G1 to have 3 drives. You could have the SATA, you could have the traditional NVMe in the M.2 slot, and then you could have it in the Wi-Fi slot. So kind of give you some options. Now we'll put this guy back together and see what we can do with the G2. Okay, now we got our G2. Same sort of thing. We have to remove the drive so that we can get to it. Gonna pop this guy a little forward so that we can pull out the drive, disconnect. Same sort of thing. We've got a couple screws to take out. And this is a 35 watt, just if you couldn't tell by the fact that it doesn't have the extra fan right here. And let's see, I think, yeah, there's one more right here. And be careful when you're taking this out that you don't snag this guy and pull out the ribbon. You can put it back in, but best to not have to. Okay, so this particular unit already has a SSD. This is not the bootable one though. It's the SATA is the bootable. This is just pure data one. So here's our guy. So this is what I was talking about, this capacitor here. I'm not sure. Believe me, I think this is a capacitor. I'm far from real knowledgeable on knowing one from the other. But let's see how it might fit. Okay. I'm going to take this guy out. Put him down. Wiggle him out. Oops. All right. We'll kind of same sort of thing. We'll kind of put him to the side if we can. Well, we'll let's see. Okay, if we lay this guy in there, what is going to happen? Oh man. See? It's yeah. It's just sticking right up there. Hmm. It's probably hard to see from this. Let's see if I can tilt it a little bit on the angle. But it's literally tapping against that guy. So let's see. At first I thought, well, what if I could somehow break, part of this out? But that's not really the issue, because let's see. Let's grab our... So even if we were to somehow magically cut a chunk out, I think it's still going to hit this guy, because, or I should say, I think this guy's going to come up and it's going to touch the bottom there. Let's see. Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, obviously, when they were putting this all together, they never thought that they would have to worry about, this guy being, they just had to put it somewhere. I'm not really inclined to try breaking this somehow, because I think even again with it, it's going to be bumping up against the actual drive. So if someone's brave enough out there and they want to try it, let me know. I'm curious to see, but I'm gonna say that the G2 unfortunately is not a candidate for this. And we'll look at the G4, but I even have less confidence in that being a candidate. All right, this is what we're going to try. I'm just going to leave it sort of suspended. I'm going to stick the drive in there, and let's see. The problem with that, of course, is you're never going to be able to put I can't imagine being able to put the drive caddy back on, because it's sticking up like that. But if you were in a situation where you didn't have a drive caddy, or you're not going to use the SATA, or you're going to lay the SATA, whatever you're going to do, but you just wanted that second drive, let's see if it's going to work. So let me put the drive in, and we'll give it a whirl. Well, I guess it's a good thing we tried. Yes, we were able to boot, and we'll do our normal speed check, see what we get. Okay, decent numbers, not too bad. So we'll put the G2 back in order, and maybe the same sort of trick might work with the G4. We'll check it out. Okay, last one we're going to try is the G4. And I don't have a lot of confidence in this one because of the fact that underneath here we've got the Wi-Fi pointing this way. So I don't think there's going to be enough space, but we'll take out the drives, we'll take out the bay, and give it a try here. Let me grab my tool. Okay. Lift this guy up. Jimmy him off. Take these. I like to always take these off because I had it where I pulled out the ribbon cable. and just easier, it gets it out of the way. Very important, if you can, excuse me, is to use a screwdriver that's got that's magnetic. My camera is having little focus issues today. Okay, let's pull that out. See, no, well, helps if I take the screw all the way out. Okay, so we see the connector there, and this is what has to fit in there. And it's one thing in the G2, we had it kind of, sticking up, but that's just not gonna, connector's not gonna go inside of there. I'll pull it out and try, but I'm not thinking it's gonna even make contact. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's not even, it's not even going in. So if someone really wanted to do this, they would have to cut in Dremel, whatever, into their case, and then it would fit, and then even then it's going to stick out. I don't know if that would give an idea. It's going to stick out, probably a good maybe, what's that, half a centimeter, quarter of an inch, maybe an eighth to a quarter inch. Let's see. It's getting more and more out there. So, yeah, that's not even connecting. So, I was willing to try something with the G2, but that. All right. Okay, that's in there just for the for science. We'll give that a whirl. Let's see. Well, that was kind of a bust. It didn't make enough contact to boot from it, or didn't like it somehow. But yeah, I think someone wants to try it out there, but I don't want to cut into my case. So.